online at rocklandnews.com. Thanks for joining us today. Here is your host, Tom Osa.
Coming up today, Nyack police investigate an early Sunday shooting. Jail staffing bill advances in Albany. Rockland Business Association names its 2026 Pinnacle Award winners. The RCC Foundation adds several new board members, including someone we interviewed last year, who's Nellie Morales, who we interviewed approximately 1 year ago, and we'll tune you into that podcast today. Senior Day at Clover Stadium has been announced. A youth corps application deadline is today, and more arts and community events ramp up county-wide as we go into the springtime. I'm your host, Tom Osa, and thanks for joining us today on this Monday brief. It is April 6th, 2026. The skies are sunny for the rest of the day today. We're going to have approximately 45 degrees going down to about 41 degrees overnight. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we're looking at 44, 47, and 52 degree highs. Mostly sunny, a little bit cloudy on Thursday. Friday is going to start to warm up at 66 degrees, and Saturday, 63, Sunday, 53 degrees. Thanks for joining us on our latest county-wide roundup. We do this once a week at the beginning of the week. Today, as I mentioned, is Monday, April 6th, 2026, and I am your host, Tom Osa. As always, first, let's thank our many sponsors who, without them, we would not deliver the news to you. First of all, the New York Boulders baseball team, and they're our premier sponsor for 2026. We're very thankful that we're with them. If you head over to rocklandevents.com, you can check out all the upcoming 15th anniversary baseball game schedules that will be on for the entire rest of the spring and summer. I believe the first date is in May, but it goes on all throughout the summertime. It's really a great family-friendly park. And again, they're celebrating their 15th anniversary. They recently just got synthetic turf. So there's going to be a lot more ball games and events corresponding with them. And we hope that you enjoy. I know that we will at Rockland News. Work Smart New York Business Boot Camp coming up at the end of April. Learn to be more productive in this day and age with a variety of TED-style speakers who are also authors of business books, productivity books, and overall general life wellness books. You can learn more at worksmartny.com. Plus, we have Yabu Fence Company, Dana Pest Control, Easy Temp located in Hackensack, New Jersey for all your ice machine repairs. And I have to thank many more sponsors that have hopped on for the spring season. So I'm going to try and go through this as quickly as possible because we do want to deliver the news to you. Fiesta Acapulco, located in Stony Point, New York. Kobe Sushi, Jazz Music Lounge, music on Wednesdays and Saturday nights. Mention Rockland's News and get 15% off your entire bill, minimum $75. Whole Shot Bagels, head over to their Haverstraw, New York location on Route 9W. Mention Rockland's News, get a free bagel. And the Stony Point Pancake Factory, and we want to thank them for being back on with us. We actually developed their first website, I guess, about 7 or 8 years ago. So they're going to be with us. Plus, we got the UPS store located in West Haverstraw for all your business card needs and your promotional needs, things like that that can help you out. Printing, obviously, shipping. If you need anything copied, go over to the UPS store in West Haverstraw. Very proud to say that. Ivy Rehab Physical Therapy located in Haverstraw, New York. And at Ivy Rehab Physical Therapy, it is all about the people. Inest Vape in Stony Point, just in case you needed a bong or some papers or maybe some things. We also want to thank our friends over at 202 Cannabis. Now, I don't know much about this cannabis thing, but you can learn more at 202cannabisco.com. Susan Bova, Coldwell Banker Realty, 99 Signs. For all your digital, billboard, and portable sign needs, you can head over to 99signs.com and you can learn more. FZ Perfection Auto Body Repair located in Congers, New York, and Clean Space Maintenance Management Company. Get all of your junk and the stuff that you got to get out for the spring cleaning. Get it out the door. Tony's got the trailer you can drop off. You can dump all the stuff in there. He drives off, and it's just $199 plus dumping fees over at the facility at Rockland Green, and he can help you out with that. It's a very reasonable price. We used it last year, and we're actually re-upping for another year to get some stuff out of the house. Not your relatives, ladies and gentlemen, just the stuff that you need to get out of your house, like the clutter that accumulates every winter. And I would imagine, because this winter was so cold, there was probably a lot of accumulation. And shout out to Lauren Molino Muller, Howard Hanna Rand Realty, North Rockland Chiropractic, Dr. Anna Marie, Sparkling Clean Homes. Get your entire home repaired, cleaned, get it cleaned for just $199. That seems to be a common price point right now. Banchetto Restaurant located in Nanuet, New York, and Rockland Music Fest. We're going to be having an announcement about our 12th annual music festival, and we'll have an announcement in about 2 weeks from now. Let's get into today's news. We begin in Nyack, where Orangetown police are investigating an early morning shooting near Main Street and North Mill Street. Police say multiple reports of gunfire came in just before 3 a.m. Sunday morning, and Montefiore Nyack Hospital later notified officers that a victim with a gunshot wound to the leg had walked in for treatment. Authorities said the injuries did not appear life-threatening, and the investigation is continuing with assistance from the Rockland County Sheriff's BCI unit. In county and state government news, legislation aimed at easing staffing shortages in the Orange and Rockland County jails moved forward this week. According to Mid-Hudson News, the measure passed the New York State Senate and would loosen residency restrictions for corrections officers and related staff, allowing employees to live in neighboring counties if the bill is signed into law by Governor Hochul. Supporters say that could help both sheriff's departments recruit and retain staff. Announced its 2026 Pinnacle Award winners today. Among the honorees, Howard Hanna Rand Realty for overall business excellence, Veolia for corporate citizenship, the Rockland IDA for sustainability, and Celia Solomita of Venture Together for achievement by a woman in business. The awards will be presented at the RBA Gala on May 31st at the Pearl River Hilton. In higher education, the Rockland County College Foundation announced new members of its board of directors on Friday. The foundation said the appointments are meant to strengthen leadership as it expands scholarship access, workforce programming, and student support. Among the appointees is Crismelli Morales, a new city attorney, RCC alumna, adjunct professor, and advisory committee member. I should note that coincidentally, approximately 1 year ago, we did interview, as it so happens, Crismelli Morales, and she was talking about ways of helping in the immigration space. That podcast is available on Apple Podcasts. Just do a search for Rockland's News, and is the April 2nd, 2025 episode. To make it easier for you, obviously, this entire live stream will be available on rocklandsnews.com. You just go to the home page and you'll see it on the main page a little bit further down. And then there's a link directly to Crismelli Morales's interview back in April of 2025, just to get to know her as a person that will be on the board of directors of the Rockland Community College Foundation. And from county government, the Rockland County Office for the Aging announced Senior Day at the ballpark for May 12th at Clover Stadium. The event is open to Rockland residents 60 and older and includes a free New York Boulders ticket worth about $15 to $20 a pop, a food voucher, and access to informational tables. County officials say tickets are limited and registration must be completed directly through the Office for the Aging. And for younger residents, today is application deadline for the Rockland Conservation and Service Corps, a youth bureau program for young adults interested in environmental fieldwork and community service. The program offers hands-on conversation work. That's conservation work, not conversation work. But you can have conversations while you're conserving, all that. You also get a $3,500 stipend and an additional AmeriCorps Education Award for eligible participants who complete service requirements. And one more community note, Rockland's art and events calendar is picking up this week with Jazz for All launching in Nyack on April 10th, plus local history and cultural events scheduled across Pearl River, Sloatsburg, Tapan, and New City in the days ahead. Hey, like I said, when spring comes, it's just like all these events that have been planned for the last 3 months, they start to get put out there. And it's really a good time to get tuned into the things that are happening over the next 5 or 6 months before we start to hunker down for the winter, which we all love around here. Pause for a sip of water. But yeah, it's a pretty good, 5 or 6 months. And then the other half is like snow and everything. But we figure out ways of keeping the happy vibes up. For instance, the Stony Point Seals, when they do their annual plunge into the Hudson River, they recently were able to raise $105,000 for local children that have medically fragile conditions. And they do this every year for the last, I think, 21 years now. Awesome. Go to stonypointseals.com. They also have a golf outing that's coming up shortly and a lot of really cool things that are happening. So, but Jazz for All is launching in Nyack on April 10th. And for those of you that want to learn more about some of these events that are coming up, Rockland's News has an events calendar. You can simply go right now to rocklandevents.com. That's in addition to our rocklandjobs.org new facility that we're going to be posting jobs to. And we're going to keep it really simple and probably somewhat comical on rocklandjobs.com because it's like our motto is get a job, we'll help. Okay? Because we've all been there, if you need a job, we're going to put some stuff on there where you can get a job. There's resources out there where you can go through, days, months, weeks, whatever training. But there's also companies that individually train you in the trades or the different jobs that are out there. There's a lot of jobs out there. And all you got to do is head over to rocklandjobs.org and you can learn about getting a job. Like, for instance, we put one up there for Bear Mountain where you could be, I think, a level 3 ranger in the Bear Mountain area. There's the New York State Police Academy is open for the 2027 graduates. So you could go through that. I actually got something the other day from my client and colleague and friend, Gilbert, from CED Engineering. And it's an engineering company where they're looking for help in administrative support. So the jobs are going to be coming fast and furious at rocklandjobs.org. And that's a great place where you can plug in and just see if there's anything to your liking. Right now, we're not putting any sort of just submit your email and you get to see the jobs. It's all out there for you to check out because we want to make sure that Rockland's is gainfully employed. I believe the current metric is 4.6% in terms of unemployment rate nationally. And I think Rockland's is lower than that. I think it's like 3.7%, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that. But that's a good sign. We want to keep that up, obviously. And I'm a big fan of mobility, being able to perpetual motion as much as possible and move and do things. And I think that's part of the whole job landscape as well. So rocklandjobs.org, check it out. And we have a few other things that we're putting out there. Generally, that's your Rockland County update for this morning. Be sure to check out rocklandsnews.com as well as on our weekly email newsletter, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can also follow us on our Rocklands News Facebook page to get connected. To be perfectly frank with you, that's where we live and die as far as putting the information out there. Even before we put it on rocklandsnews.com, if we get a tip that we can verify is accurate. Like, for instance, about a year and a half ago, when Rockland Community College, they basically did a meeting planning to lay off up to a third of their workforce because they were down millions in the bank. We got it out there first before anyone else. When the Nanuet Town Center basically announced its plans in order to revitalize that space and turn it into something where it's going to be more like transit-oriented design with mixed-use housing and everything like that. We were the first to report on that. We were the first to report on the fires that happened down by the train tracks because, like clockwork, every so often there's going to be a fire down by the train tracks. Howdy, CSX. How you doing? And that is the truth because you can just check out the things that have happened over the years. Not that we're being unobjective about it, but this is the truth. And various other things. Admiral's Cove, we got word about that. So, we're tuned into what's going on. We as Hessians without no aggressions, that's an old Yosemite Sam cartoon thing that he says comically. But we're not looking to damn anyone or glorify anyone. We're basically looking just to deliver the news in as objective a way as possible. And hopefully, quote unquote, you can feel me on that. To that end, I also have an announcement to make, and I decided to keep this for the end of today's live stream. I've decided to turn the morning news on Monday over to someone else that works for our company. The reason for that is right now it's 1:24 in the afternoon. I know what it's like to commute into New York City. I did that for several years, approximately 20 years ago, when I was working with. It's on the Avenue of the Americas. And it actually crashed during the whole real estate thing that happened back in 2007 to 2009. I worked for, and it was done by the late Jim Hudick, who was my boss and also my stepfather. He got me a job over there, and I would commute into the city on the train, be at the place at like maybe 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, and basically work the phones. And the name of that company was, I'm trying to remember it. What the heck was it? Wasn't Morgan Stanley. It was, I don't know. It'll come to me. Anyway, the point is, and I'll mention it afterwards on a future live stream, probably with Mike on Wednesdays. The point is, it's time for me to turn over the morning news on Mondays to someone else that's up and about, tuned in, and can really deliver the news objectively on a Monday morning. We'll make that announcement over the next few weeks. And I do have full confidence at the moment that this individual can objectively deliver the news. And he also has a really good heart for Rockland County. I really think that he is a person that is going to be able to do this quite well, as I've followed his travels over the last 2 years or so. So that'll be coming down the pike. And yeah, I'm really psyched. We have a small news team that's rapidly expanding all of a sudden. Whenever I do a new idea, I like to at the very beginning so that it gets right and perfect as possible at the atomic level. Then we can expand it and then apply the Fibonacci sequence to it and say, all right, how far can we scale this? Now, do I expect this to be listened to in Australia? Absolutely not. But it's certainly becoming a resource that people can rely on. For instance, over the last 3 months, we had 983,000 views on social, and approximately 430,000 views on average. I'm sorry, that's a wrong number. 121,000 views at rocklandsnews.com. Reading the stories that we created. We created approximately 150 stories, 120,000 views of those. So that's a pretty good metric. So yeah, that's basically where we're at. And by the way, the name of the company was the AMA, the American Management Association. And then later on was AIG. That was the place that I commuted into the city to work at early in the morning, most mornings for a few years, just doing telemarketing and stuff like that. So my point of that is that, those of you that telecommute from here into the city and make your coin and then come back, I know the grind. And one of the things that's important to navigating through that grind is to have someone that's dedicated to delivering the news in the morning. So we're going to take a shot at this. I'm going to take a step back from this. And unfortunately, for those of you that listen into our later in the week podcasts, I'm still going to be around. but I want to leave it open for other people to be able to do their own episodes. Like, for instance, we have Tom Brady. That's actually his name, Thomas Brady. He is a sports performance coach, and he typically has a sports show once a week where he does local interviews. He was the one that got us the information about the Albertus Magnus women's varsity basketball team winning the state championship with head coach Pat Buckley, who I actually went to high school with over at Albertus Magnus. I was fortunate to know him. And also the men's hockey team, varsity men's hockey team, the varsity men's hockey team over in Suffern. They won the state championship, and that was a three-peat, hat trick, whatever you want to call it. And Tom Brady is obviously tuned in more to sports for obvious reasons, and so he's got a live stream that we do. Plus, I do the government report on Tuesdays and, just talk about local matters. We have a small business spotlight that Mike Kluger does. He goes out and interviews people. We have a financial report that happens on Tuesdays. Wednesday mornings, it's me and Mike just talking about things somewhat comical, but somewhat serious, middle of the week. Thursday, we take off, kind of like take account of things, how everything's going. And then Friday, we have a morning report. And then we have OK Rockland, which is turning into quite the interesting live stream. That's all I got to say. For instance, the last two that we did were at 202 Cannabis, and then the next one was at Fiesta Acapulco, where we hung out and we had some food. And there's actually a lot of stuff that's going to be happening over at Fiesta Acapulco this spring. They're going to have bands, comedy shows, and a whole bunch of other things, discounts. You mentioned Rockland News, you get a discount. It's going to be a pretty hopping scene. I remember that when that place was Cahoots back in the day. And then after that, it was the Peppermill Grill. Obviously, Kevin Lynch from Lynch's on the Green, located now at the Philip Rotella Golf Course. He was there for many years, and he did a wonderful job there. He's still going, but then Fiesta Acapulco took over. I really developed a really great relationship with Juan. Sometimes I mention this. I'm half Latin American. So, Juan and I, we talk about some stories every so often that bring a joyful tear to our eyes. It's just it's a really, really awesome atmosphere. So, Juan, from me to you, I appreciate you, brother. I look forward to working with you some more. And I think that's it for today. I'm going to announce the sponsors after Ilana gives me the send off, as I call it, and then I'll announce the sponsors. And again, the next report is going to be on tomorrow, Tuesday, at approximately 3:00. Government report. So tune in next for that. You can always follow us at Facebook. That's the easiest way. Just push the button. And by the way, we also have an email newsletter that goes out almost every week. You go to rocklandnews.com. The annoying pop-up shows up, and you can subscribe very easily with just your email address, your zip code, or you could have it text delivered to you. That's something that we're posting. We haven't done it yet, but we have the ability to text out like a link to today's news. All right, enough of me. I hope all of you have an awesome rest of the day. Ilana, take us out.
You're listening to Rockland News, available on Apple, Spotify, and online at rocklandnews.com. Thanks for joining us today. Here is your host, Tom Osa.
All right, we're going to do this real quick. Thank you to the New York Holders baseball team. Work Smart New York Business Boot Camp coming out in April. Get more workforce productivity and ease of mind. We got Yabu Fence Company, Dana Pest Control, and Easy Temp. Fiesta Acapulco, Kobe's Tuesday, Whole Shot Bagels, Stony Point Pancake Factory, the UPS store in West Haverstraw. Special thanks to you guys. Ivy Rehab Physical Therapy, West Haverstraw, New York. Ines Vape in Stony Point. Susan Bova, Coldwell Banker Realty. 99 Signs for all your digital billboard portable signs needs. FD Perfection, Clean Space Maintenance Management Company. And thanks for joining us today. I'm your host, Tom Osa. We'll see you tomorrow at 3:00. Take care for now.